Game on, motherfuckers. This is AO Storm, and it's time for another Etiquette For Aholes podcast. You know what we do? We talk about a-holes. Mainly I complain, as near as I can tell. Or we talk about what you tweet me, and then you get a chance to complain. And I get to complain on your complaint. I get to piggyback. It's a nice little system. The way to do that is to go ahead and tweet me at E4Aholes. The letter E, the number 4, A-holes. At E4Aholes. Throw out a tweet or hashtag something a-hole. I'll find you. And, vent. Get it off your chest. Share it with the world. Share it with me. I'll share it with the world. And we'll all feel a little bit better. And maybe it'll make... the goal every day is to make just one person think, God, that, why did I do that? That was shitty. That made someone else's life worse. I don't want to make someone else's life worse. I want to make everyone's life better, and I hope that everyone else wants to make my life better. Wouldn't that be a great place to live? I know I'd like to live there. I know we don't live there now, but we live in a pretty great time. A time where I can have a podcast, and I'm not going to read you any ads. I'm just going to say, go buy my book on Amazon, Etiquette For Aholes, or any of the spin-off books. There, that's it. No ads, no sponsors, that's all. Go buy it, read it on your Kindle. It'll be great. They're cheap, they're practically free, and they'll make you laugh, they'll make you think, they'll make you be less of an a-hole. You kidding me? You're going to call people that live and work for minimum wage a-holes? Absolutely not. That's insane. Only a real a-hole would do that. But I am going to call the people pushing for the $15 minimum wage a-holes. And here's why. Stay with me now. There's a difference between those two groups. Because I don't think the people pushing for the $15, the ones that came up with this, by the way, come on, is this negotiating 101? They're not hoping for 15. That's an insane number. That's a number to have everybody talk about it. And then they go, all right, fine, we'll come back with 11. And it's a win, and everybody's happy, and it's hand jobs and cigars for everybody across the board. But that's not really, we're not going to talk about the economics of it all. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole of arguments. Well, if you do this is going to happen, and the micro and the macro and all that good stuff. That's insane. What we're going to talk about is the mindset. Investing your time. I'd say spending your time. Investing's wrong too. Wasting your time picking battles on things like this. If you are a person that is earning minimum wage, or you're advocating for this for someone, first of all, stop calling it a living wage. That's not the goal. That's never been the goal. That's not how this system works. That's not how modern civilization works. As long as there's been modern society, there have been rich people and there have been poor people. Now, I'm not setting out to be a bag of shit here, and I don't want to, the stories, and there's people living in awful circumstances, and there always has been. They're just crushing, and you don't want in any society to have poor people going unhelped and busting their ass. It's feudal serfs. It's people working Chinese rice paddies, whatever it is. There's always people busting their ass and working way too hard for way too little, and that's the way society is. And the way to possibly change that, which again I don't know if that's possible, is not to legislate it away. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's not the answer, people. But stay on topic here. So let's go ahead and agree. There's always been poor people in awful circumstances, and there's sad stories, and it sucks. But that's always been the case. And what are we going to do about it? And $15 to boost the minimum wage is not the answer, because minimum wage shouldn't be a living wage. And that sounds awful. You say, well, that's all the only job these people can get, and they should be able to survive on this. And that's true, but America is, this is the land of opportunity, not the land of federally mandated wages. This is where you can make your own dream. There's 350 million people here, and that's probably an old number that's been trotted out for 10 years, whatever the hell, when the last census was. But minimum wage should be a motivator, so stop calling it a living wage and trying to bootstrap people up into what? A slow IV drip that's slightly better than it is now? Minimum wage should suck. People get their hours abused and the benefits and all that stuff. Minimum wage should suck, and it should sting, and it should make the people earning it look in the mirror and go, God, this fucking sucks. What can I do? I don't want to live like this. This is awful. what are my options? Maybe I can go get an associate's, I can get an apprenticeship program, I can go to college, I can do those. Maybe it forces you to come up with an idea, and you get to invent something or come up with some new way of doing business that's never been thought before. It makes you think that way. Maybe you just have to bust your ass and be better than the next guy and stand out. Maybe it makes you dig down and work harder. Maybe it just forces you to be introspective, and it sucks, and it's going to grind people down, and I'm not saying that everyone's going to win this fight, but they're certainly not going to win the fight by just getting forced a little bit more money. And again, we're staying away from the economics of how that would impact prices on everything, it's a pass-through, and whatever. It doesn't matter. This is about the individual thinking this is a solution. It's not a solution. This doesn't help you. You didn't earn it. It doesn't make you feel better. You know what? That shitty job at McDonald's or wherever it is that pays you minimum wage is still a shitty job if it's $15 an hour. But guess what? If it goes up to $15 an hour, there's a good chance they're going to hire less people and make you work harder for your $15 and make that job even worse. Or, altogether, I know we'll save that note for a minute. We'll just look at this. Okay, so automation. They're going to find better ways to do it. They're gonna bring in the robots, people, but all right, so yeah, they're gonna. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. They're going to bring in the robots. There's Redbox and Netflix. How'd that work out for Blockbuster? They found a way to cut people out of the equation. They cut out real estate and stuff like that too. But they cut out people. How many jobs got lost when Blockbuster hit the skids? And other, regional ones, Hollywood Video, Movie Gallery, whatever it is. Business found a way to essentially wipe out the low-paying jobs in the movie rental and sales industry. Poof, gone. Technology found a better way. Do you think that's not around the corner? Look, I think we've all seen enough sci-fi and heard enough crazy conversations and are aware of who Elon Musk is to know that the day that robots are coming is not if, but it's when. And you know what? The day that it's cheaper to get a robot to clean the floors, to pour the coffee, to feed the people, to cook the food, is the day that we are all fucked. Because you may hate big business now, but when they don't need us anymore, except to show up and pay our chips that we get from the government to buy the products and the services, we are all fucked out of our minds. So do not hasten that day. Do not force business's hand to look at other options, because they will. They will sit in boardrooms across the country and talk about how they can reduce costs. And some smart guy, maybe somebody that was making minimum wage, came up with a great idea. He'd been busting his ass for a long time, and you know what? Working in his time away from that shitty job, and he came up with an amazing way that you could lay off 7 people, and not only that, get more efficiency, and it would only cost the equivalent of 4 people. And now 7 people are out of a job. Boom. This is what happens when you push business. I don't care if it's $15 an hour or whatever. When you push business to look for better solutions, business is damn good at finding better solutions. Don't pick this battle. Don't try to make it a living wage. Take it as a minimum wage piece of shit that you don't want to continue to do. Take it as motivation. I don't care what McDonald's says. That's not a career. It can be a career if you get up into management, but working the register is not a career. Not unless you want to, I don't know. That's it. This is just kind of rambling, but don't pick this fight. This isn't a good fight to pick. There really is no upside. The people that get the increased wage will not be happy. The people having to pay the higher wage will not be happy, and they will look for ways to not pay those people that amount of money. There is no winner in this, except for probably the lawyers drawing it up. Look, I'm never going to be a Rockefeller, or a Walton, or a Rothschild, or Gates, or whoever you want to. Certainly won't be Carlos Slim's son. I'm never going to be an extremely wealthy person. And no one else is either. That is just being born that way, folks. So Let's accept the world for what it is and find the way to be the best that we can be, instead of sitting back and waiting for some giant bloated government to give us something we think we want that we really won't be happy once we get. Get out there, people. Bust your ass, and we'll talk tomorrow. This is A.O. Storm reminding you to be a good person.